There's a woman who shaped the landscape of New York in significant ways, but when I walked around her neighbor and asked people about her, only 2 people had heard of her, so let's talk about Jane Jacobs. This woman was a mom of 3 and never graduated from college, but she was a keen observer who boldly faced one of the most powerful men in New York to advocate for her neighbors, and ultimately she won. When Jane Jacobs moved to West Village in the mid-1940s, it was a neighborhood of immigrants and artists. The buildings were packed with people and the sidewalks were full, which in the days of urban renewal was not seen as a good sign, but what Jane observed with her own eyes as she walked her kids to school and looked around her neighborhood was that these were all healthy signs of flourishing. This seemed to be common sense. She wrote about this in her timeless and influential book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, which she wrote from her home here on Hudson Street. So when parts of West Village were designated as a slum, Jane rallied up her neighbors and fought hard against the destruction of homes and displacement of people and their businesses. When Robert Moses tried to put a highway through Washington Square Park, Jane and friends sent out 30,000 postcards in protest, and moms with strollers and kids filled the park to stand up against it. One time they put X's over sunglasses to symbolize City Hall's blindness to community needs, and one time they stayed at a City Hall hearing for 12 hours. In 1968, Jane Jacobs was arrested for inciting a riot, but charges were dropped. It's impossible to imagine all the ripples of effects of this woman's advocacy, and I think Jane Jacobs deserves a lot more recognition, but I hope her story inspires you and I to walk outside our doorsteps and keep our eyes open to what we see. As she wrote in Fortune magazine in 1958, downtown is for people. That's somehow a revolutionary idea, but it's an idea worth fighting for.